Hi, this is Hari. This video is a quick review of my senior enrichment project. I'm going to quickly and briefly run through all the features of the website, of the app. To start off, I wanted to review the schema. The schema is located in the DB folder and the index.js file. The schema consists of two tables. One is for the campus and one is for the students. Here are the requirements assigned to the tables and the columns. For example, the campuses table has a name, image URL, address, and description, and they all have different requirements, such as the image URL has a default image attached, value attached to it. The address column requires that that address is filled out and that it's not empty. Similarly, the student table has a first name, last name, email, image URL, and GPA. For example, here the GPA has a validation requirement where the minimum GPA is 0 and the max is 4.0. And similarly for the email, there's a validation requirement that it's actually what's put in is actually has the email format to it. To quickly review what the table looks like, I put in some fake data, and the fake data was put into the seed file and populated here. So I added 4 universities. Here's the seed file for that. I added information for the universities and the students right here. So I added a couple of students with all of the information required. Okay, so I think that's it for the schema and the database. The next step is showing you the get route. Okay, so before I get to the get route, I wanted to quickly review the relationships. The relationships are set here at the bottom of the database index.js file. The students table belongs to many campuses, and the campuses has many students. And to confirm that, here a school ID was imported into this table here that matches the information from the campuses table. Basically, it matches the campus ID tag. Okay. So just a quick overview of the app. For the get route, here in my home page, if I just go to the students, this will create a get campuses action and will spit out all of the students that were part of my seed file. And that's basically the 8 students I have here. And similarly, in the nav bar here, if I hit campuses, I have the 4 universities. And this is the basic get route that obtains all of the information from both the tables. And as far as the nav bar stays consistent throughout. It's the title and has two links. Student link that goes back to the student list page, and the campus link that goes back to the campus list page. I'm going to go over the code very quickly. For the get route, I have added them here in the API folder. The simple get route here for just the students, I'm sorry, this is for the campuses, is here. Basically, I'm just doing a find all on the campuses table and sending that data to the front end, to the thunk. Similarly for students here. And then going into my component for the student. Here's a quick overview of what it looks like. I should start from the root file. The root file has a different, basically starts off with the nav bar here. which has the two links to the student and the campus routes, which is the main list page, and then also has a route area where I have the links to the student and the campus paths, which relates to the components. So here's a quick review of the student components. The student component has a map function that goes through the whole list of students in my seed file and populates it on the student list page here. Similarly, for the campus page, also has a map function here that just like maps through the whole thing and goes through the image URLs and provides a link to the detailed campus information, addresses, descriptions, and all that. And finally, there's a delete button, which I'll go into later. And campuses here. Okay, next I would like to go into viewing the single student and single campus items. To start off here with the students, I have created a link on the names of each student, and when you click on that link, that takes you to the student ID and to that individual student page. In this page, I have the first name and last name added here with the link to the university and an email and the GPA. I can go back here and click on any of them, any of these students, to see their specific information. Similarly, the campuses, there are 4 campuses, and I can click on any of their names to get to the campus page. The campus page also has more information on that specific university or campus, has the image, the address, description, and the list of students, which I'll get into later. The code for all of this is here. So to start off with my root file, I created a route for the individual students and the individual campuses. Going into that route here, for example, with the students, I have basically I created a new component for the individual student page. This has a link to, this has all the basic student information that it gets from the props, and then it also has a link to the school ID, to the school that's related to that student. And similarly here, when you go to the campus detail component, there is specific information to that campus that has been selected and a link, and it also links back to the students that are in that campus. So so there is a link between both the tables, and you can click on the students itself. Like for example, if you go here, you can see all the students that are attending that campus. Okay. Finally, since I'm running out of time, I wanted to quickly review the add functions. In the campuses page, I can add a campus here. And it automatically populates right here with the default image. And I can even click on it and see that there are no students assigned to it right now, and it has the address and the description that I just gave it. Similarly to the student page, I can quickly create a student, and I have a selection option here that I can select one of the universities, and as you probably noticed, full stack that I just added is also showed up here, also populated in this list. So I'll just click on one of these and add a student, and here I am. And just clicking on this, Um, I have this is the basic information for a student that got populated here. I can always go back and and see that it's all there. The action for add student and add campuses was also invoked here, as you can see on the console. And similarly, I can also delete items. Looking at the list of students here, I can hit the delete button, and as you see, it gets updated right away. So just I can delete as many as I want here, and you can see that in the console the changes are occurring. The delete student action removes students from the student reducer array. Similarly here under the campuses item, I can go and delete as many campuses as I want, and without having to refresh, the pages are removed. And quickly going over the code. The code for the delete is actually a button that's in the student list component, and that's all right here. The on click, clicking on the button generates the ID that's for that student itself and removes it from the table through the map dispatch to prop function here, and it goes back to the main reducer, and the reducer has the delete actions and action creators and the thunk, which goes back to the database and removes the item from that database. The delete thunk is right here, and delete reducer is here. So also when I hit refresh, just the 4 students remain.